Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Sophie and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very colorful landscape watercolor of some kites in the sky. So for today's lesson, we're going to make a very bright and fun picture of some kites flying up high in the sky. For our project today, we're going to need a piece of watercolor paper. This one here is 9 by 12. We'll also need a pencil, a permanent marker, a watercolor set, and a paintbrush, and some water to use our watercolors. So in our picture, we have 3 kites up high in the sky, and then down below, we have a bunch of different fields. And in our picture, we're trying to make it look like we're looking at the ground from really high up. If you've ever been in an airplane or looked down at fields from really high up, you can see that from far away, they kind of just look like they're divided into rectangle or square kind of shapes. And that's how you can tell that you're looking at them from really far away. So that's what we're going to try and simulate in our picture, but we're going to make our fields look really bright and fun with lots of different shapes and patterns. Alright, so for step 1, we're going to draw the horizon line. We're going to make that about right in the middle of our page here. We're going to draw it so that it dips down a little bit in the center and then comes back up on the side to kind of look like a valley. The horizon line, of course, is the line that divides our ground from our sky. So now in the sky, I'm going to draw 3 kites flying up high. And I'm going to try to make them different sizes and facing different directions to make it look a little bit more interesting. So I'll draw one kite in the middle here. I'm going to make this kite maybe my biggest one. I'm going to draw one on the other side. I'll make this one a little bit smaller than the first. And I'll draw one more kite on the other side. So you can see that I made these diamonds 3 different sizes and making them face different ways so it really looks like they're just flying up in the sky. Next step is I'm going to draw a sort of T shape in the middle of all of these diamonds. So I'm just going to connect the top point to the bottom point and the left point to the right point. So now we can see that it looks like these kites have the frame attached to them. Next up is to draw the tail of the kites. So I'm just going to draw a kind of wiggly line coming out the bottom of these kites for the tail of the kite. And then on each tail, I'm going to draw a different kind of shape to decorate it. So I'm going to draw triangles on this one. On my next one, maybe I'll draw some square shapes. And for my last one, I'm going to draw maybe some half circles. But again, you can draw any kind of shape you want to decorate yours. Next up, I'm going to draw 2 more horizontal lines on the ground to separate the ground into 3 sections. For these lines, I'm going to make them a little bit wavy, a little wiggly. I'm not going to make them perfectly straight. Now that I've got 3 sections here, I'm going to draw some vertical lines now. These vertical lines aren't going to be perfectly straight either. I want them to be a little bit curved or a little wiggly. So I'm just going to go through and divide up my painting here into lots of different sections. And you can see on the ground here, my different vertical lines don't line up with each other. I don't want to just draw a straight line all the way down. I just want to draw shorter lines to divide up each longer section into kind of rectangle and square shapes. And you can see that I put some of my lines closer together and some lines farther apart to make those rectangle and square shapes different sizes. Once I have this part done, then I'm going to go in with my black permanent marker and I'm going to trace over all of my lines, and I'm also going to fill in the little shapes on the tail of my kites. Once I have everything traced with the Sharpie, I'm going to go in and decorate my picture. So inside each different section on the ground, I'm going to draw a different kind of design or pattern. It's okay to repeat the same pattern more than once, but we just want to make sure that they're spread out so that there's lots of different designs all over. If you want, you can also add some designs or decorations on your kite, but that's optional, up to you if you want to add that. Now that I have everything outlined, it's time to color it in using the watercolor. If you have more time, I would suggest waiting in between steps to let your watercolors dry so we can avoid our colors blending together as much as possible. However, if you don't have a lot of time to work on this, then I would recommend painting it in these steps. I would start first with the sky, then do the ground by doing a couple squares at a time, and then moving back over and filling in the top part of the kites. For mine, I started by painting the sky blue. Once I was done with that, I moved on to painting the ground. This will give me some time to let the sky dry before I try painting the kites. For the ground, I want to use lots of different bright colors to make this picture really fun looking. I started by painting with purple, and I painted a couple sections purple to start. Then I started with the green. By painting sections like this, just a couple at a time, it gives them time to dry before you start painting the sections right next to them. If I just painted it all at once, then all of my colors would probably blend together, which might look cool too, but that's not what I'm trying to do for my picture. Once I'm done painting the ground, then it's time to work on the kites. And since the sky has had some time to dry now, it won't blend with the colors I'm using on my kites. Once you have everything filled in, then you are all done with this project. Thank you so much everyone for watching our video. If you enjoyed today's project, please post a photo and tag us on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure to follow both of our pages. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.